To my second tutorial. Today's going to be a very quick tutorial on math counter. Math counter is essentially an entity that will count things. I've already set it up beforehand to demonstrate a situation where math counter will be used. Of course, math counter is just brought up by selecting an entity and changing it to math counter, like so. But anyways, we already have one here. I'm going to show you. Name. You need a name for it. I'll tell you why later. Start disabled obviously to no unless you have a plan for it. Initial value. This is the initial value the math counter will have. We're going to start off with 0 because there's no real reason to ever have it above 0. The minimum legal value. When this minimum value is hit, something's supposed to happen, or something can happen. Maximum legal value is when this value is hit. This is the absolute maximum value that the math counter can hit. Also, after this value is hit, you could also trigger another thing. In the outputs, basically, you can go through. You can have, see there's a bunch here, but on hit max and on hit minimum are the two important ones. So once it hits the max value, for example, you can make the door do something. Basically what we have here is a door that is boarded up. I have used prop physics boards. They're named this woodboard 06A.mdl, and they are frozen in place because I have ticked start asleep, motion disabled, prevent pickup, prevent pick, or motion enable on player bump. Basically they're frozen there. They're not going anywhere, and they are preventing you from opening or getting through this door. This door starts locked, of course. So basically, to get through this obstacle, you would have to break these two boards. How, you may ask? Basically, when these boards break, when I break them, they add a value to this math counter. So there's two boards. When this board breaks, it'll add 1 to this math counter. Because it doesn't really care what the minimum legal value is, then it'll just go to this one here. So basically, this breaks and this adds 1 to this. So now this is remembering for all time and infinite experience wise, it has 1. Once this breaks, you'll have 2. Now let's hit 2, it will trigger this. On hit maximum, because it's now at 2 and the maximum value is 2, it will unlock the door because the door is locked. So pretty simple, break these two boards, this registers 2, unlocks the door. That's a brief sort of walkthrough of it. The door doesn't need any outputs, but just needs a name. I gave the name of door. Planks do need a special output. Select all the planks. You have to name them the same thing. If you did, it should bold this. In the outputs tab, you just go ahead and on break, counter for boards, which is the name of the counter, add. But you need to use this special box right here with a parameter override of, and we're going to put 1. You can make it so that maybe a board is more critical than the other, so that it might add 2. Like if this was a gigantic board over it, then it could add 2 and you could just go break that or whatever. So you could add different values, but both of these are just going to add 1. Is there going to be a delay? You can set a delay if you want to, but it doesn't really make much of a point. As soon as the boards break, the door will unlock. Both of them, of course. So this is your typical setup, and very, very, very simple, actually. I'm surprised. I'll show you an example with a properly done door and an improperly done door in just a moment.
People are always bugging me. When's this coming out? The big unknown variable of the grand solution for making the site awesome again. The quarterback in Max's game plan.
The keystone in his bridge to OT9.
One thing always remains calm.
So here's a simple example. Here's the door we just did. We can see we can't open it yet. One plank, like so. We still can't open it. After breaking both planks, aha, now we can open it. So this is the example of the properly done door that we just did. Yeah. Anyways, here's an example of an improperly done door. We can see we can't open it right now, because we don't know how many planks are broken yet. They just used, for example, when the plank breaks, it opens the door. Now you can see that it not only glitches through this plank here, it also gets stuck afterwards, and there's a plank going through it, and it does not look nice. The player might break both planks and then go through it and never notice it ever. This is the example of how one simple entity that's magically floating here can make your level much better. That's the end of this tutorial. It's pretty simple, pretty quick, and it's something that's not too much of a pain to do, as long as you do it right. Thanks for watching.